Good evening, everybody. Corey here. Before we get started, just a reminder that I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, and this video is for entertainment purposes only. And we're just going to jump on in. I spent a lot of time reworking formulas tonight and conversations with Rod, Retire on Dividends, and Max and everything to make sure that I was thinking through things. But anyway, and then I had changed lots of formulas in here and get this all cleaned up. And I did not sort this. So these are not going to be grouped together tonight. Sorry, I did forget to sort. But you can see here, I'm going to just go over this because it is something a little different. The other night I talked about, I had first said we had the Robin Hood. That wasn't it. Sorry. Over here. No, that's still not the right one. This week, right? All right, I was going back too far. Here I was saying the first night I said, it looked like we were holding the stocks. And then the next day I'd gotten an email from Jay about there being an issue with the long for Hood. So then I thought I was wrong. But then tonight, I was talking to Retire on Dividends, and he sees it as us owning it. So then, and of course, the reason I brought that up and I had to go back is because of today's holdings. And then, of course, once I got on the phone with Max and me and him were talking and I was showing him my screen and everything else, and as I was saying it out loud, it hit me like an idiot. And I'd been going around an hour looking at different things. But basically what they've done here is they have closed out of the synthetic positions for Coin, MicroStrategy, and NVIDIA, and they've turned around and bought the stock. Which is then what took me back to Robinhood to check it and then reread the email just to, and get second opinions. But you can see here, and I'll show you the raw data. Let's see. So this is the raw data here. So you can see it's just the ticker with the buy and the value over here. And like if you see the bottom down there, you can see the options. It looks different if you're just buying the stock, right? So there we go. All right. Let me zoom back in here so you can see good. So anyway, I've been rewriting formulas and different things in here, but now you'll be able to see this is going to be listed as stock. So we're going to have stock, synthetic, and short call. So we're going to have 3 S's now. I guess I could update the header there. I didn't think about that. I was so worried about the formulas and everything everywhere and getting everything to read. Of course, this one's already been pasted over, so you don't see the formulas. But you can see the totals over here on the left. Of course, the reason you see those big negatives is not that they lost a bunch of money. It's that they, actually purchased the underlying stock. So you can see that it costs quite a bit of money to do that. Now on Coin, to sell their synthetics here, it did cost them a little bit of money. $123,000. MicroStrategy, they actually made $324,000 by selling those, and then NVIDIA made $13,000. But just wanted to show you that, and so that is gonna be new. And then to go back over Robinhood, but we'll see that on the holdings, which then led to my next issue, is that for some reason the holdings were not importing from the website. So I waited, and I probably waited way too long. And I think I finally saw them on the website at 10:30. So what I had to do is manually download them, copy and paste them, put them in here, and then do all the formatting and everything else, which is very unfortunate because it's 11 o'clock at night, and I don't think I'm going to be doing Yieldmax single stock tickers tonight because of having to stay up so late waiting around and then messing with this, and having conversations with stuff, and then realizing that Google Sheets wasn't going to import my data, because in order to do the single stock, there's 21 ETFs over there. So I would have to download all 21 holdings and then copy and paste every single one of them in there, which means in order for me to do that, I really need to be sitting at my computer desk with my mouse and my keyboard and my multiple screens, so it make it easier. And my husband's asleep on the couch, so I could work in the bedroom. And I really don't feel like getting up at my desk and doing all that tonight, so I may end up having to wake up early in the morning and get that done for those that still want to watch that and see all the data with the strikes and everything on it. But anyway, that's just sort of what I've gone through tonight and the different things to make things work, workarounds and stuff. But so we went over the trades. So we're going to zoom in and get started. I will say that I did delete out the total trades and total amount of trades and per share at the top, because now it's going to be, because this includes all trades, it's going to look completely off with buying the underlying and stuff. So I'm going to have to this weekend work on that before the weekly roundup, and separate things out a little differently. All right, so we will, I know it was requested for me, well, I had a couple, like maybe two, like literally a couple requests for, sorry, I see the headers are missing, to do like a quick summary during the day, like I've done the Yieldmax ones, which basically I was trying to work on it a while ago, and this is what I've gotten so far. Because I was trying to make it somewhat similar to how I do the Yieldmax ones, which in this case would be, like the ticker. I left the IV here because I had it yesterday's close, current, and change, which is on the holding sheet too that we go over, and then just a summary of the trades, and that's basically the same thing that the Yieldmax one has. The difference is of course it compares the underlying to the Yieldmax ETF, which we don't have that here. So let me know if y'all would like to see this, to do that separate video over that as a quick video, after the trades are posted. And of course, I guess I should update this because this is not the holdings anymore. Let's just put ULTY there. So I'm not even sure I'm going to do this because it is the tickers from the holdings, which means if we have new tickers, I'd have to manually, I guess, add them on here to the bottom. I'm not sure how I would do that, but I can't just do it of the trades because then all the tickers wouldn't be there. But anyway, let's get back over here. Not that one, the formatted one. Here we go. So we have ARM, and today is Wednesday. So Friday we have our short call, which, sorry, I was just thinking about it. I don't know if y'all noticed today, but they had the FMOC, and then like after that, the stock market started to go up. So you may see some significant changes in here with the prices and the differences and stuff. So just keep that in mind. But for ARM, we had a short call that expires Friday with a strike price of 137. We are currently the stock is currently 4% under the strike price for the short call, and it's also under the synthetic strike price of 135 by 3%. We have 126 contracts, and then the stock ended up being up 5% today. if we move on to ATXS, which I think was therapeutics. Yeah, it's a therapeutics company. So they have a short call, which doesn't expire till next month, with the strike price of $17.50. We're currently 10% below the short call strike price. We have 961 contracts, and this stock was actually down 6% today. We have Chewy. I believe Chewy is the one. I didn't bring it up again, but I think they're the ones that report tomorrow before hours. I don't know now. I think Pindo. No, that might have been today, because I just remember PDD. Let me just look. I think I have it here on my phone, unless I already deleted it, which I could have, because doing all these videos and stuff, it just takes up lots of space. Oh, there it is. Okay, I guess I didn't. So Wednesday. So it actually traded, it was after close today, the earnings was. PDD was this morning, which makes sense because I was watching that one. Chewy was after hours, and I don't even know that I looked at the stock market after hours, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I don't know. Sees lower industry growth. I don't know. After hours, it went down 2.5%, but it doesn't look like anything drastic. So, I don't know. Sorry for that. So we have a short call with a strike price of $19 that expires Friday. We are currently 7% below that. Of course, this shows we went up 6%, but I can't just quickly tell at this if the earnings were good or not based on, just these headers of these news articles without actually going into it and reading the news article. So we will see tomorrow on that one. And then we have Clean Spark with the short call expiring Friday with a strike price of $18.50. And hold on, I'm sorry. I assume the bottom two were, they're definitely synthetic, and that's definitely the short call. I don't know, I feel like I'm losing it today. Yeah, okay, sorry, I was right. So the strike price, I guess because it's not very often, but now that I'm looking down through here, it looks like it's going to be often today. But we're 9% over the strike price. It looks like they closed today at $20.25, and the strike price was $18.50. So, yeah, I did not see that at first. So we're already, if we had to close it out, $177,000 to close that out. Yep, if you see over here on the right, yesterday we closed at $16.49, and it went up 23% today. I know in the Discord, I made a little chat within the Yieldmax group for ULTY, and I had posted PDD's earnings stuff, but honestly, I didn't look at, with the such crazy day I had today, I didn't even eat lunch. I didn't take breaks. So I didn't take any time for myself today for lunch or breaks to do anything. But I don't know. Yeah. Sorry, clearly I wasn't prepared for this. So I don't know if it had to do with Bitcoin or anything. I have no clue. If one of you know, if y'all want to drop it in the comments for everybody else, it'd be greatly appreciated. Sorry, I was not totally prepared for that. All right, so coin This is the one we did end up going over on the other tab, but I'm trying to, reduce the number of times we go over things. So I've started just trying to do the closed ones on that tab. But because we were seeing, the stock, buying of stock and showing it differently, I wanted to show it over there. But of course, in the future, you'll see it over here on the left, where they purchased 6,100 shares of the Coinbase stock, and it cost them almost $1.5 million to do so. And then so that means they don't have the synthetic here anymore because, they closed out of that. So they have the short call here that expires Friday with a strike price of $257.50, and the strike price is at $256.88 right now. So we're right there at it. And if we go over to the right, we can see we are up 12% today. If we go into Carvana's short call strike price is $85. We're currently 2% over that. So right now it's showing it'll cost us $65,000 if we had to close that out today. And it was up 10%, around $8 today. So D local short call strike price is $19. We're currently 17% below that. Of course, then you see the synthetic. It's $18 strike price, and we're 13% below that one. But of course, they both expire next month. So we got a little bit of time there. And so we were actually up 5% today. And then we have GigaCloud. We have the short call. These expire next month. Short call strike price is $40. Looks like we're 28% below that, which means we're also below the synthetic strike of $30 by 4%. 344 contracts, and it was down 2% today. If we move on to GameStop short call expires Friday with a strike price of $15. We are currently 10% below the strike price. And then we have the synthetic that expires next month, and we're 4% below the $14 strike price. We have 1,043 contracts, and the stock was up 7 cents today. And then Robinhood. So I briefly went over this a while ago, that I had mentioned Monday that, this appeared that we were holding the actual stock itself. And then I got the email that confused me. So then I'm still not totally sure on what that was about, but just based on me looking at this with Retire on Dividends and Max Convexity, we've agreed that we are holding the stock here. So unless I hear something different, we're going to go with that. And this actually is in line with what we just saw today on the holdings too. When I went back and looked at it, it's just that we didn't have, the day this showed up, we didn't have the trades because, I meant to say trades a second ago. We didn't have the trades because they didn't get uploaded that day, or there was an error getting them uploaded. But Robinhood short call expires Friday with a strike price of $19. We're currently 2% below that. We have 818 contracts, and Robinhood was up 8% today. Mind Medicine short call expires next month, $11 strike, and we are below that by 10%. And they were up 1% or 9 cents today. Then we have the cannabis stock. Short call expires Friday with a strike price of $10. We are below that by 10%. We have 1,674 contracts, and it was down 1% or 11 cents today. Then we have MicroStrategy. So this was a new one where they sold the synthetics and bought the shares today. So you can see we have 800 new shares of MicroStrategy. And we have a short call that expires Friday with a strike price of $1,635. We are currently 5% below that, have 8 contracts, and the stock was up 9% today. Then we have Nano X Imaging. We have a short call that doesn't expire until next month, but the strike price is $12.50, and we are 12% below that, and the stock was up 2% today. We have NVIDIA, another one where they sold the synthetics and bought the stock, the stock itself, 1,700 shares with a price costing $1.5 million. And I will say, and I didn't point this out earlier, I'm sure y'all saw it, but if you look here where I had the stock prices and then the price they bought it for over here, they must have bought it in the morning when the stocks and stuff were down, because you can see that they've already gained on these from when they bought it. If they'd have bought it in the afternoon, these would have been higher. But anyway, NVIDIA short call expires Friday. Strike price at $955. We are currently 5% below that. We have 17 contracts, and it was up 1% or $10. Then we had PDD. So at the beginning of the day, PDD was at $150. I have a few shares myself, and man, I so wanted to sell, but I've gotten to where I'm trying to hold things versus just selling them, because usually, I'm trying to, when you trying to build a portfolio and trying to have long positions, it's hard to hold them when you see them up. So I've gotten to where I'm trying to do that, but then it's like, and then I turn around and then it's just, it was up so much and then it was just gone like that. Every time I turn around, that's what seems to be happening. But yeah, so I'm just looking here. It opened the day, it shows at 148. Let's see, yeah. But it was up pre-market right before opening it at 150. And I could have sold mine for like $30 up a share. But yep, not even, as soon as the market opened, it tanked. Anyway, but it was up to 150. But we have our short call that expires Friday with a strike price of 142. So we'll see what happens tomorrow with this. We are currently 7% below that strike price. We have 120 contracts, and it ended up being up 4% today. Then we have Root with a short call that expires next month at the strike price of $70. We are 20% below that. Of course, we have the synthetic that expires next month, and you can see over here in red, we're 13% below that. And now that makes me wonder if I marked the right one, but I think so. Or I think not. All right, let me check. Root. So let me look on my unmanipulated data here. All right, so that is the short in the middle. So don't look at this one because, sorry. All right, I just wanted to make sure, because some of these, because these had the same expiration, some of these short calls had the same expirations as the synthetics, which is how my formula is set up. Then I have to go manually change all the ones that are actually short calls to short calls. But what was throwing me off was the market value, but I guess because the put's on the bottom. But all right. So I said for the short call, we're 25% below our strike price. We had 281 contracts. and it was actually up 12% today. So it looks like it was up about $6. Go to SMCI. We have a short call that expires Friday with a strike price of $1,060. We are currently 15% below that. We have 14 contracts, and it was down 2% today. And then we have Soundhound. It started going down today. It has a short call expiring Friday with a strike price of $8.50. We are currently 7% below the short call strike price. We have 1,667 contracts, and you see it went down 5%. And then we have Symbotic with a short call that expires Friday with a strike price of $47, and we are only 10 cents below that with 327 contracts, and it was up 5% today. And then I'm not going to go over the summary tab because since this data didn't pull into my workbook, this is actually the data I had to manually copy and paste it in here, and it's not on the holdings tab, and the summary comes from the regular holdings tab. And this, it looks like it finally did update. So let's see if this data pulled over. And I can't manipulate, the data's here. So I can't manipulate the pivot table on here, but I see that my IB ranking has disappeared. And this is what happens, like Google Sheets just will do what it wants when it wants. Oh, look at that, it popped up. All right, and the only reason I could tell that this is updated because I can see these large amounts here, and we had 3 of those just show up. So now this, is one of those again. It's not exactly accurate, right? It's saying that because it holds them and their market value is higher than holding the synthetic, right? So we can't really compare this to the others. So if we take those out of the equation just based on that, and I may have to, rework these things. If you look down here, we have Symbotic as a positive 178 market value, and Carvana 152, SMCI at 96K. If we look at the worst ones down here, we have Root with a market value of negative 294,000, D Local negative 198,000, and the Therapeutics Company of negative 136,000, which is also the one that has the highest volume, which I had seen one that was 208%. I don't remember which one it was now. And I need to go back, and I forgot to do this earlier. I started to, but I got sidetracked like always. And some of these I was going to pull the IV off from the video from yesterday and put those initial IVs on here, but I forgot to do that with everything going on. But that'll give you a little view into that. And until they, I don't know. I know the goal is to transition over to the holding the stock versus the synthetics, which makes sense why their cash value was going up. They were, getting them a little pot there. So I guess, I don't know, they're just going to do a little bit of time or how they're going to do that. And now we have our updated outstanding shares and net assets now. I don't have that copied down there because it wasn't there earlier. But our outstanding shares stayed the same, and our net assets went up about $1 million. So, that's all I have for today. I appreciate y'all sticking in there. And I'll let y'all go and talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye.